Good morning, y'all. It is day 3 of this vlog. We're just gonna get this confession out right now. Yesterday I said I was going to sit down and plan out what I was gonna say today. I did not do that. So this is gonna be a very short video that I'm honestly posting just for consistency, just so I don't, just so I keep this habit up. But I don't want to waste time. Yours or mine. So this is gonna be pretty short, and I am gonna really set aside time today to write out a plan for the next few posts. So this is going to be kind of just more of a follow-up, I guess, from the other day. I did get some feedback from some people who I sent the video to, which has been super good, just in terms of finding different locations, maybe inviting people to come in, which is totally cool. I have no objection to either of those things. The dynamics of how that would work, I'm still unsure about in terms of right now we're in my room. And we're in my room because this is the only place in the house that I can actually have control over and say okay, from this time there's not going to be any noise, no one's going to just come in, ask a question, have to cook food in the background or be on the phone in the background, whereas anywhere else in the house there's a good chance those things will happen. But I do want to give you guys a more interesting background than my clothes and my mirror and my dehumidifier and my heater. So anyway, I think about that. And then in terms of having people on, I'm totally down for that. Because I feel like the people in my life who I love, one thing I learned about myself and love about the people in my life is that we can sit and have nothing on the agenda and then talk for hours, about whatever, about life, about our relationships, about what we're learning from the Lord, about challenges, about whatever. And it's always a good time. It's always refreshing. So yeah, I these are things I'm definitely thinking about. Sorry, this angle's a little weird to me. It feels a little lower. But yeah, so these are definitely good feedback. I appreciate it. Keep it coming if you have any more ideas or suggestions. And I want this to be all-encompassing, right? So I was expecting some packages. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was expecting some packages today that I wanted to show you guys, just in terms of just again, this is just this is just an invitation to come along to my life. So it's going to be some things that some people would care about and some things maybe nobody will care about. But just more like a day in the life, things I'm learning and kind of doing. And then just follow up and accountability for these things. And then something to look back on. So in that vein, let me just mention that I almost had ice cream yesterday, y'all. If you watch the video from my second video, so yesterday's video, I said okay, no more ice cream, no more dairy. And sure enough, that day, I was I did, in this pandemic, it's really been a challenge to get out and get groceries and things. I don't have a car right now, so I've been taking, public transportation here, which typically is good. And I have quite a few buses that run by my house. But during this pandemic, they shut down all the lines except for one. And that one, it doesn't run on a regular schedule. And then it's a whole production to get out. Then there's lines at the grocery store. And so it can take, what used to take me maybe an hour at most, it sometimes takes 4 hours to do, just from the time I leave the house, go to the store, stand in the line, go shopping, come, go to another, it's a whole thing. And so I've been ordering online because I typically don't, it's just a lot of work. And I haven't planned well enough and ahead of time enough to really make it worthwhile going to the store, or I'll forget something. It's just a mess. So I was really hungry and I didn't have food that I wanted. That's the key. Food that I wanted in the house. I had stuff I could eat. But nothing it was I have applesauce and I have apples and I have oatmeal, but I don't have food of substance. I don't have substance. That's a word I'm going to think of later. And so I was I'm going to just order this Whole Foods order, and I'm going to get some food to cook and some food for now. And I'm ordering, and water, because I always need water, but it's a lot to carry. And I ordered 3 little things of ice cream, and they weren't all dairy, but they were going to come at 9 o'clock at night, and I was I'm hungry before then. So I canceled that order. And I was no, I really do want some. So I made another order, but the time for yesterday was over. And so it was going to come today at 9 a.m. And I was I don't want to eat tomorrow at 9. I want ice cream and cornbread and, I wanted it now. which was yesterday. Anyway, I kept thinking about, like, do I really need this? Like, I was acting hastily and just making a poor decision because I didn't plan ahead. So I canceled both orders. I did not have ice cream yesterday, and I didn't get pizza. I was going to order. After all that, I was like, well, I still got to eat. So I was going to order pizza, and I didn't. I had like a fish platter, which was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine. And it wasn't dairy, and it wasn't ice cream. So, yes. I mean, who knows if you guys would have listened and cared, but I did have in the back of my mind, no, I said I wasn't going to eat no more ice cream or dairy, so I really should not order this. So, in that way, it's already helped me. Thanks, y'all. I did not, however, work out. So, also part of going out today, I think, should be around that. Yesterday, I did do laundry. That took a while. And then, I was supposed to have, this is something I really want to do more with more of my friends, especially now that we're in this pandemic. It's so simple. Like, I know that it's hard to connect with people, and I know for me, I was having a really hard time the first few weeks. Like, just really difficult. Really, really difficult. But really, God's really been helping me just be at peace and learn how to use my time better so that I'm not, because this is what happens. What I've noticed is so much of, for me, I'll just say my life as a believer is like this battle in my mind. I think Joyce Myers has a book called Battlefield of the Mind, and it resonates with me because how we think affects so much of how we see the world and how we act, our behaviors, our attitudes, all that. And so those first few weeks, like, I would start believing all these lies about myself, about situations, and it became this, like, almost like a minefield where it's like I would just be watching, just numbing out on TV or food because I just wanted to avoid the thoughts in my mind and the craziness that was going on. But since I've been more committed to, like, reading God's word, reaching out to people who I love, who also, love the Lord and can be an encouragement and just can be like a stabilizing force, not that they have to always encourage me, but just they're also like people who love God. And so when we speak, it's inevitably going to be like encouraging, and we love each other, and that's really, it's made all the difference in the world, honestly. So I guess I had an appointment to do that with a friend, and we weren't able to do it. But that's something that I want to do more of, not just now, but in the future. We can't always be together. Now, I'm always going to be I love spending time with people. Like, I'm grateful for technology, but I much rather prefer to be in someone's company than to be on the phone. Like, FaceTime's cool, Zoom's great, phone calls and texts are nice, but like I'm definitely one of those people who's like, it gets a little awkward, and like after I'm like, okay, I got nothing else to say, so bye. Like I'm notorious for that one. But yeah, I much rather prefer being in people's company. But when I can't, I don't want that to cut off fellowship just because for whatever reason we can't be in the same room. And so just calling some of the saints and just reading together. We'll pick a book and we'll just read through. Sometimes we'll stop and discuss it or ask questions, say like, hey, what do you think about this? Or do you think this is what was going on? And that's not the time I do my in-depth study. I have a separate time for that. But that's more of like a reading. And a lot of times, sometimes my study my study has been like the different things I want to study or different questions that come up in study started in like the time of reading on the phone with a friend. Or I'll just like write a note in a margin or in a separate notebook like, well, why did this happen, Lord? Or why is this important to be in here? Things to look up later. So yeah, that's that. Laundry. Oh, so anyway, I just relaxed yesterday. I did clean. I'm working on getting rid of some old things. And like, this is just a new season. There are a lot of things that I wish were changing at the end of this pandemic that may not. Now, I'm not going to say God can't do it, because he definitely can. And it can be a miraculous shift of things that happen. But some things may not change between now and when I go back to work. One of those things I'm hoping is where I go back to work. But that's an aside. But I want to start ushering in a new season anyway, even though I don't know all that's going to happen or what life will look like. Getting rid of things I don't wear anymore, don't need anymore, somebody else could use, Yeah. It's like I had 2 pairs of sneakers, which I think I didn't know this before, but in the future, as God releases, like, as I am able to make more money, I want to always buy 2 pairs of sneakers, because I was told that, like, if you're going to wear them a lot, they really, I think someone told me, so don't take my word for this, do your own research, but someone told me that 6 months is like your max for a pair of sneakers, depending on how active you are. I'm not super active, but as I go to the gym, as I do more walks, as this pandemic ends, I'm going to be more active. And I noticed that I had shoes for like years, sneakers for years, and they would start to, the soles would start to mess up and cause like pain in my foot. And then if I have to wear them, that was all I had. So I did buy 1 pair of new sneakers, and I threw out 1 pair. I still have 1 of the old pairs, but I want to buy another new pair so that way I can get rid of the old pair too. Because I want to make sure, that's also part of being a good steward of my body, is taking care of my feet. I got to stand. I want to have good knees, because when your shoes aren't right, it affects so much more than just your feet, and comfort. It can affect your knees, all these different things. I should have my doctor friend come in here. Shout out to Dr. Val. But, yeah, so anyway, I forgot why I brought that up. But, oh yeah, I bought different things. I bought some new books. That's what I was going to show you. New books that I'm really excited about. Now, in the past, I had a history of buying books, and because someone said there was a good book, I didn't always read them. It was just not good, just not wise. But I'm going to show you some books that I got. I'm going to tell you why I got them, and then this will be the other way to help accountability for me, even if you don't want to participate. That's fine. One book I got, it's called How to Read a Book. It's by Mortimer J. Adler and Charles Van Doren. This was recommended by our pastor because he's leading I'll just show you again in case you want to get it. He's leading a Bible study class. And I'm really excited about it. And part of my questions were different, how to read different parts of Scripture. And that's the first book he recommended. So it wasn't too expensive. It came pretty quickly. And I'm excited to read that one. I also got Basic Steps of Bible Study for the same class. And I got Destroying the Spirit of Rejection. This is by John Eckhart. Now, no one recommended this book to me. I was encouraged to get a book on rejection because it's something that I've dealt with in my life and wanting to really be free at every level. Because you get, you realize something's an issue and you get free, or you think you're like, okay, I worked on that, I'm better, I'm going to handle it differently. But then something else comes a different way and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I don't like how I responded to that, and you realize it's the same thing. So it's like you address a symptom of a disease, and you think it's fine because that symptom's gone now. But then another symptom pops up, and you're like, oh, I guess it's a little deeper than that symptom, So I got this book because it deals with a lot of things, and I was encouraged to look in the table of contents to determine if this was relevant to my life. And I ordered it before I got that other counsel about the table of contents. But when I got it, I looked at the table of contents. I'm going to read a couple things that stood out to me. It talks about rejection from the womb, like where rejection enters. It talks about parents' relationships to each other, which is so key, man. I mean, when I tell you, I learned so much watching married people relate to each other, watching relationships in general. I like to watch siblings, how they relate. But I think about specifically, we talked about this here, but how I think about how my parents relate to each other, other married couples I've seen relate to each other. And it tells so much, right? Like, it communicates something to your children, to your peers, people at your wedding, to your siblings, like in-laws. This is a whole other rant for a whole other time, but marriage and romantic relationships of that nature, I take them very seriously. Now, I used to take them too seriously in a dependent, overly invested, I looked at it like it validated me kind of way. And I don't do that anymore. I fight to not do that anymore. Let me just be totally honest. I fight hard to not do that anymore. But it's always been something I think about. Anyway, I still have to say, it resonated with me. How parents relate to each other, how they relate to children, sibling dynamics, church and social groups, things like that. There's so much. Feeling rejected by God, yeah, pride and fear and how all these things can be rooted in rejection. So anyway, I'll let you know how this is going if you care. Even if you don't care, I'm gonna let you know how it's going. Maybe I'll do like a book review in a couple months of like the different books, or maybe I'll just tack it on to like something else. I don't know. We'll see. This is another book I got, and then I got 2,000 Years of Charismatic Church History. No, Charismatic Christianity. Now, I'm going to just say this. Nobody recommended this book to me. I'm not recommending it to you. I'm just telling you I got this book, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And I got it because we had a discussion in Bible study about how with the charismatic movement, there's not a lot of like writing about it. You know, I don't want to go into too much here, but the charismatic movement, in terms of like, it has this reputation of being very emotion based and experience based. And while it involves emotion and experience, it is rooted in scripture. But part of why that narrative about it being only emotional and only experiential, you know what I'm saying, based on experience, is because many people don't write about it. There's not often that it's written about, not just intelligently, but biblically with like, you know what I mean? Like basics, like a biblical basis for the charismatic movement. And so we were challenged to like look up different charismatic theologians and different works that they've produced. And I didn't do a great job. I found that really difficult. And I didn't like that, you know, like this is something that I believe, but I want to know more about it. I want to be able to articulate it well and understand it well. So I got this book. As I read it, I'll let you guys know as well. There are a couple other books I got for that purpose too. And then some other ones, I got the Tony Evans Study Bible. I'm not gonna put them all out because they're just kind of all over the place. But yes, so I got some books on. So yeah, as I get some, or as I read some, I'll let you know what I think about them. I'll probably also talk to my pastor's wife, my apostle, before I recommend them, just because there's a lot I don't know, and I'm okay with asking for help. And then I got some clothes. Which I should probably also make a pact to stop doing that, huh? Okay, there's one more thing I'm going to buy, and then I'm going to stop. But I looked at it last night, and I didn't get it, because I said, okay, if I think about it again in the morning, I'll buy it. And I'm thinking about it. But that'll be my last clothing purchase until June, which is my birthday, and so that gives me, like, an extra excitement about shopping for something, and also sometimes to have lost some weight and get my body back in, in better condition for shopping, and for trying on clothes where I'm not like annoyed at myself for just sitting around for 2 months. Anyway, but I will show you what I got when I get it. It's nothing too deep, but I'm excited about, the little things excite me. I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, just some J. Crew turtlenecks, but they're bright colored, and I always like bright colored clothing because I just think they're more fun. And I like clothes. I like fashion. I like to be able to play around with it. And I think I take the desire and the encouragement to be modest as a challenge, because I like to dress up. I like to have fun with how I dress, but I do believe modesty is important. And I know that at times, based on what's in the stores, it can seem like such a challenge, especially based on different body types, to dress modestly and still have fun with fashion. I don't want to wear muumuus all day. I'm not Amish. No offense to the Amish. I'm not Amish. And so I don't want to wear like neck to ankle sackcloth all day long or a neck to ankle dress all day long. And I just don't want to do that. That's just not my thing. I like to have fun with it, so basic things, but things that are like I can like picture different outfits with excite me, or like just little things. Anyway, no one may care about this, but I'm gonna just show you anyway in case someone does care. I'll probably try to put like a little thing in the what is it called? What's it called? The description of the videos about what I talk about, so you can decide if you want to watch it or not. And look, this one's getting long. This is crazy. I'm a rambler, y'all. This is what we've learned over the last 3 days. Robin, am a rambler. Almost my last name, but I caught myself. Okay, that's enough for now. I am going to go to the grocery store today to get some water, but more importantly, I need to go get cash from the bank because rent is due tomorrow. And I have some cash, but not enough on hand. And actually what I do is, I'm not going to tell you my secret, but I need to go get some cash for rent. So Yep. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, this has been good. Just talking. And let me say this. I will say there was a challenge I had last night. The Lord is helping me. He has helped me tremendously with anger. But you know how you have those things that, like, my non-verbal communication is, like, pretty predictable. You know, like, you can tell how I feel about something pretty quickly, pretty easily, if, you know. And there was a situation yesterday. There's been an ongoing situation. But I catch myself when somebody says or does something and I just think it's super whack, whatever they're doing. And I can feel my face change, like, okay, like, you're a hypocrite. Like, just, like, little things like that. And the Lord has to help me with that, because I was angry last night about something. And I didn't handle it well. I didn't say anything to the person. Nothing. I didn't treat them different. I don't think I did. I left them alone. I didn't respond to what happened. But internally, I didn't respond externally. Internally, I was annoyed. The Lord he's helping my heart to not be, it is bitter. It's bitter to not be bitter. To not be callous towards people. You know, like, because I've endured rejection, I got to a point where I used to be so, like, I would say more generous with my affection and my love, right? But I endured rejection, and I felt like, y'all don't get that part of me anymore. The world doesn't get. And I was like, you get one good time, because this is what would be a pattern in my life. People would hurt me, and I would be like, okay, I forgive you, it's cool. But they would keep going. It would keep happening with that person, but then also with other people. Like, I just noticed that pattern in relationships where I felt like people just thought, because I was kind, I thought I was kind. I wasn't that kind, actually. But because I thought I was kind, they would just walk all over me and treat me poorly, and then just act like I shouldn't feel any type of way about that. And so I got to a point where I was like, you get one good time to show me that you don't care about our relationship or our friendship, or you just don't want me in your life, and I'm going to listen to that one good time. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, okay, message received, the end. You know, like, and I'm done. I'm done with you. Now, it was hard, because that's really not how God made me. But I let hurt build this, like, wall around my heart and my thinking, where I'm just like, oh, you don't deserve a friendship with me because you're whack and you're just hurtful and you don't value me. And that was not good. It was not good. It's not Christ-like. You know, I'm not saying let people walk all over you, but we're all growing. We're all learning. We all need help. We all need grace. And God has extended so much grace to me. He's extended so much grace to me. And that's what I have to remember. I'm supposed to be like him. You know, I'm supposed to be like Christ. I'm supposed to be like God. And sometimes these situations, I'm realizing God allows me to walk through, not just to remind me how much I'm not like him, but to say, okay, this is an area where you can be more like me. You can choose to be more like me in this way. I bring all this up because I didn't do a great job of that yesterday. Y'all pray for me. If you watch this video, pray for me in that area of loving people who seem to disregard me, or who seem intent on hurting me, and without care. What I'm learning, again, like I said in the first video, is I'm learning to really embrace God's love for me, and to accept the reality that I'm accepted by the one who, he made the earth. He made butterflies. He made rainbows and stars and flowers and sunsets and sunrises and people. You know, he made everything beautiful and good in this world. Like, he made everything. And then he then he decided to send me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm accepted by him. I am loved well by him. And so the more I learn to embrace that and walk in that, the less I'm moved by other people's rejection of me, you know, other people's decision that they don't want me in their life. And yeah, it's but I have to stay in that place, because otherwise I'll get caught up in people. And I was reminded this morning by our apostle, like, the Bible says we don't fight flesh and blood. I'm not fighting people. There are other things at work. Satan is trying to get us all, like, and then we've got sin in our lives. We've got to address. But I'm not going to, it's not my place to let bitterness and resentment build up. In fact, that's sin, because I'm not loving well. Anyway, y'all, this is about to be a whole other video, but I'm going to sit down and have a plan and a structure for tomorrow. All right, Lord, help me to sit down and structure, have a plan for tomorrow. I don't want to just say I'm going to do it and then I don't do it. Lord, help me do it. Yeah, anyway, this has been good. If not for you, it's been good for me. Oh, this is an adventure already, I tell you what. All right, you guys have a great day. Love on somebody who you find it challenging to love on. And thank God. Right before you do it, thank God for how He's loved you when you've been hard to love. And then find somebody who loved you when you were hard to love and thank them. Thank them and love on them. Yeah. Especially as Christians, man, we gotta love better. I have to love better. And I don't think I'm the only one, but I'll speak for myself. I have to love better. And I invite you on this part of my journey too. Let's learn to love better. If you want to comment a time where you have struggled to love somebody, something we can pray for you about, that's another thing. If you've got prayer requests, feel free to add them. If anybody's watching, I'm happy to pray for you. I can do it on air, off air, whatever. But yeah, this has been good to just kind of process some things. All right, you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.